Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Brothers Take podcast, a podcast where nerdy brothers get together to share their take primarily on video games, but also their other interests too, including movies, TV shows, and music. In this week's episode, we are going to be talking about our most anticipated games for 2025. And of course, like always, we want to hear from you guys too. Whether you share your anticipation or hype levels with us on the games that we're going to bring up, we're each going to bring up 5 games or 5 gaming related things. Might not be a game specifically. But if you share the same hype levels as us for these things, then do shout them out. Or if you have completely different hype levels for other games, because I think 2025 is looking like a very stacked year.
It is.
It's another 2023 really, in a way. It's gonna be fucking wild. There's already so many on the horizon, and we're only in January. So yeah, it's going to be a stacked year. So if you're more excited for other games that we're obviously not going to mention because we can't mention them all, then do let us know. If you're watching YouTube, jump down in the comments to let us know. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for all future content. And to those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take. Again, to give your take on the most anticipated games of 2025. We're doing 5. You can do more if you want. You can do your 10. But we will also throw out a couple of honorable mentions that nearly made it into the top 5 that we are also really, really excited for. But without further ado, let's talk most anticipated games of 2025. Eric, just before we jump into the main topic of this week's episode,
Okay.
you playing anything at the moment that you want to shout out, or anything that you're playing through at the moment?
I'm playing through the Mass Effect trilogy again on Legendary Edition.
Oh
On
yes,
well, not on Legendary. It is the Legendary Edition. But yes, I'm playing through that again.
you mentioned this in the last episode. Yeah, that you were playing through them again over the
Yeah.
Christmas break. Yeah, yeah. It's
And
always
then
it's a good time.
and then we cleared the three of us cleared Space Marine 2.
Hey, great fun.
Great fun.
We will have to do a spoiler cast episode, I think, but maybe because the story is quite short and the game is quite short actually, so that
Yeah.
might need to be a bonus rather than like a full length episode. But any Space Marine 2 fans out there, let us know what you thought of the game, and if you think that we should do a full detailed kind of spoiler cast on it. Man, that is a fun ass game. Thank you very much because you got it for us.
I got it for you.
And
Yeah.
therefore, the fun times we had were really what you bought us. The memories, that's what you got us
Yes.
for Christmas.
No,
Yeah.
I just kind of I figured it's like, we need, especially with last year. Not 2024, but 2023 was such a stacked year of single player, story driven, heavy hitter games
Yeah, yeah.
that I was kind of like, like we haven't had in a while. It was a good, fun multiplayer game. And I think a lot of people thought that the Space Marine 2 probably did that well when it first came out because it was just that sort of fun, wacky, visceral game it's kind of addictive to play. You kind of just go, no, we'll keep going.
When you get into it, you get into it. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I think as well, I've heard that it has actually worked as a bit of a gateway drug. There's a lot of people who were not into Warhammer 40k beforehand suddenly getting into Warhammer
Yes.
40k.
hmm
After playing this game, they're kind of like, I want to know more about this world, and oh, this shit looks cool. And so yeah, people are starting to dig deeper into the lore now and getting more into Warhammer 40k.
As they should do. It should be taught in schools.
As part of classical studies.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, really fun game. Let us know if anyone has played it. I'm currently
What about you,
playing
Chris?
through 2 games. One of them is a game called Inscription, which came out in 2021, and I know like a lot of people, especially game critics, loved this game. I remember there was big hype about it in I think it was in a couple of categories for that year's Game Awards and stuff, and I never really looked into what it was, and then I saw it on Game Pass. I went, you know what, I'm gonna go in blind and see what the hell this actually is. It's very good, and I've been recommending Adam to try it,
Yes.
while also not telling him anything about it. It is like a deck building card game. They
They
seem to be
must like
really
yeah, they must
popular,
like
yeah.
them.
Mixed with like an escape room, mixed with like a roguelike. That
Oh,
strangely, and I don't like roguelikes. I hate feeling like I'm moving backwards rather than going forwards. And
right,
yet
yeah.
in this, every time even though you are like repeating some things, I feel like I'm moving forward all the time. And
All
like,
right.
oh, like maybe that was supposed to happen. Like that's part of the process. And in a way it is, because something new happens when you die, and
Yeah.
um it's really weird and creepy, and it's got a very very original art style, and it's interesting, and I think it's filled with secrets, and I do wonder where it's gonna go. So I'm
You're getting
playing
big
that.
into horror now, aren't you?
I'm not saying this is a horror game. It's more like a. I just think there's got to be like I think there's got to be a mind fuck to it. I think there's got to be like a whoa kind of. Obviously, it is nothing like this in tone, but I'm getting vibes of like. Do you remember Doki Doki Literature Club? Where you think it's one
Oh, do
thing,
I?
and by the end of it, it's turning into something completely different. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm getting vibes that this game is going to take a turn and it's going to
Okay.
become something else. And then yes, the other game that I'm playing is Silent Hill 2. You guys came over for the first, like the opening hours playthrough.
Opening 4 hours, I think it was.
Yeah, because we wanted to get up to see Pyramid Head. Really,
Yeah.
um, it's very good. I think it's very good. Um, it's obviously very basic in terms of like the combat and stuff.
Mm.
And I do find there's maybe a little too much of that. Like they don't need as much of it as they've put in here. Um, but in saying that, like it works well, it plays simple, like it works fine. But the atmosphere, the sound, like the environments, all of that stuff are incredibly impressive. I think the performances are strong. The mood of it, the atmosphere. They have
Mm.
very, very definitely made an incredibly scary game. Like it is scary. Like there's been I don't it's not even one where I'm putting it on all the time because I need to know what happens next. I have to actually get myself in the right mood to play it,
Right.
because it's like, yeah, if I'm not in the right mood to go in and scare the fuck out of myself, then no, thank you. But I'm very very impressed with it, especially when we spent a lot of last year, anytime it was shown, shitting on it. Really, anytime it was shown, we
We
were like,
did.
oh, that looks terrible. What do they do with all this? I just got to say, I was wrong. Anytime I said it looked terrible, I was wrong. Um, it is very good.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Guardians game, isn't it? Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's like
It
it's
just
not
didn't
good.
market it right or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not wrong. Well, I mean, they did include the whole if you pre-order it, you get the hats. Like, come on, Chris,
Exactly. Like there's
you
nothing
have to.
about the marketing that I think
What are
they
you
got right.
talking about, Chris? The hats are amazing.
Pre-order and you can get a hat. Yeah.
No,
So
yeah, the marketing and the showcasing of gameplay was a bit sort of meh,
yeah,
really. Um, I think because it didn't really include the whole. I don't remember hearing the kind of radio signal thing in
in the
showcasing.
marketing and stuff. Well,
Yeah.
that's why like they did one trailer where they had like rock music playing while they're like showing some of the combat, which
Oh
is,
yeah.
I mean, the combat works well for the game because he's not like an action hero. So
Mm.
he's not as fast and fluid as like Leon S. Kennedy shooting down things and kicking things and like doing
Yeah.
flying kicks, and because that would be wrong. If he was doing all that, it would be like, what did you do? You turned James Sunderland into an action hero? Like it might look more fun to watch, but it wouldn't be right for the game.
No.
Um, so the like his combat is limited because it's quite realistic. Like yeah, he could shoot a gun because if you give a gun to anyone, they could shoot a gun, and
Mm.
he can swing a bat because if you give anyone a bat, they could swing it. Like you know what I mean? And the way he excels is very much like every time he's hitting something, there's fear and frustration in it, and like he's literally just made it past the encounter. He's never
Mm.
like, huh, give me one more, or like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's not the vibe of the game. So I think they did a really good job. But to market it with the combat rather than to market it with the dread atmosphere and puzzles is what I would
Yes.
have marketed it with. Um, so yeah, very very
Yeah.
impressed. I'd love to know what other people think of
There
Silent Hill
was
2 if they
yeah,
played it.
yeah, the puzzles there was one particular puzzle you did. I think it was the one where all of us were sitting there trying to figure it out, and
Yeah,
that was a very good puzzle. I liked that one.
That was cool.
So the
Some of them
puzzles are
are a
good.
bit. I do think there's some of them where it's like, oh, like it's going on and on a little bit. Oh, you gotta find this
Yes.
to get this to get this. But then there's other ones like that where it's like it's an escape room, and in that it's like a mini game in itself. And I think that's really,
Yes.
really impressive game design. But those are what we're playing at the moment. Now let's talk about what we are looking forward to playing for the rest of the year. So these are our most anticipated games for 2025. Do you want to try out the honorable mentions first before we get into your top five?
We can do, yeah. So my first kind of honorable mention is a game that we saw a few years ago. It piqued our interest, and then they showed it again, I think, at the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it's made by it's either one person or it's just a very small company, like a very
Okay.
small group, and it just has this kind of Final Fantasy vibe to it, and the game is Lost Soul Aside.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Looks
it just
cool.
looks like from the gameplay looks class and it looks very Final Fantasy-esque and it looks like something that's like I don't know. So that's just again, this is why it's an honorable mention. I can't say too much about it of what would be gripping me
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't know enough about it for it to grip me, but it has
But it
caught my
looks
attention.
cool.
It looks cool. It's caught my attention with its art design and everything like that, and its combat looks very good. So
Yeah.
that's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, try out the rest.
All right, okay. Try
Yeah,
the
keep
rest.
going.
Keep going. Another one, I suppose this might be a little bit like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why is this only an honorable mention? But it's an honorable mention because it looks great and it is everyone's most anticipated game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not too quick to get it just yet, to be honest. Like I don't want to be getting it the minute it comes out, but that's Grand Theft Auto 6.
Okay.
That's something that I'll keep my eyes on, but I won't be too.
I don't think anybody needs to apologize for their own tastes. Your most anticipated is your most anticipated. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
someone else is like, I'm not vibing with that. I mean, you won't find Assassin's Creed Shadows on my list, but I'm sure there's many people that have it on theirs.
Yeah,
So,
it
like,
will.
you know.
Yeah, that's not on my list either.
So I think it's fair if like someone's like, yeah, look, it's an honorable mention. I somewhat interested, but not top five.
Uh,
So my honorable
yeah,
mentions are Doom: The Dark Ages,
right, yeah.
which again was very nearly in my top five. There's actually a Xbox Direct Developer Direct on January 23rd. I think it's going to be the first games showcase of 2025. Something to look forward to. And they will be showing Doom: The Dark Ages. They will also be showing South of Midnight, another one of my
Mm,
honorable mentions. Anytime we've seen that, it
nice.
looks really cool. It's hard to know what it plays like, and that's why it's only an honorable mention for me. But stylistically, I think it looks awesome, and I think it's great for Xbox to be getting a game like this. And I'm really interested in like the Bayou kind of mythology that they're going to be bringing into it. Um, Another honorable mention for me is Death Stranding 2.
Very
Um,
good.
I think anything Hideo Kojima does is always going to be on my radar, and I'm always interested in how he innovates. I haven't actually played to completion the first game, and I found it hard to gel with the gameplay. So that's why it's only an honorable mention for me, because I'm like, if it's a lot more of the same, I don't know if I'm going to gel with it. But if he innovates, if he does something new with it, if he does something different, maybe it will actually draw me in. So that's why it's certainly one I keep an eye on, but it's not like top five. Can't wait for it. And then the other honorable mention for me is Split Fiction, because I just think that game looks crazy. I think it'll be another fun co-op,
Mm,
multiplayer experience. I love that Hazelight's whole mantra is like just, one person buys the game, two people can play it, no microtransactions, no bullshit.
yeah.
It looks like a fun time and a fun experience. But I didn't gel with all of the writing in It Takes Two, which I just finished recently. And that's the only
Hmm.
reason it's not in my top five, where I'm like, I think the gameplay is going to be fun as fuck. I just don't know if I'm going to gel with the writing, if it's a similar vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it looks fucking great. So all those are to say I'm like, I don't want anyone to be like, Doom: The Dark Ages is only an honorable mention. I can't fucking wait for Doom: The Dark Ages. It's just there's a lot of things to look forward to this year for me personally.
Yes, there is that, and my last one actually was I just found it there. It's a Wushang Fallen Feathers
I
because I
don't even know
think
what this is.
because I just it's Chinese. Well, it's a Chinese action game, but it's just I'm very intrigued to see more of that, like more Asian based games because. it's just something new, you know. It's something that we haven't had in a while, and if to see more of the Chinese culture and everything like that, I think it would be very interesting because it's sort of something left behind. But there's a lot of like history and design and everything like that. So I think that one is caught. It's why it's an honorable mention. It's caught my attention, so I'll be keeping an eye on it for sure. And has piqued my interest. So that's an honorable mention for me to kind of keep an eye on, and hopefully it'll become something I actually really want to get. But
Nice.
yeah, I'll keep an eye on it for sure.
So that's our honorable mentions. Do you want to jump into our most anticipated now?
Yeah, can do.
Will we go one at a time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like to go first?
Yes. So my
Okay.
first one on the list is Claire Obscure Expedition 33, single player RPG turn-based game. Just again, we're like Space Marine 2 going back to form of like doing this turn-based combat, which is always nice. But it's such an interesting premise, and now we got like this French sort of style and design to it, which is really nice. A new sort of nation that has its own architecture and design that's very distinct, and then it's a very interesting backdrop. If everyone is, I think I'm assuming everyone is 33 in the game, and they have to go on this expedition to kill whatever it is that's going to wipe them all out from the face of the world. Like it's very cool, and the combat and designs look very good. And we got Andy Serkis, Ben Starr, Jennifer English in it. I mean, it's a good fucking cast we got in there too. So
Yeah,
keeping
this
that
game
definitely.
is also in my top five most anticipated games of 2025. I do love me a bit of turn-based combat, especially when it's done well. I think since playing Sea of Stars in 2023, I was like, man, I could do it more of these. And then this one,
Yeah.
yeah, very Final Fantasy-esque in like terms
Mm.
of big production and like the visuals and stuff, but also doing something new and different in terms of yeah, having that like French aesthetic makes it look like it has its own kind of identity as well.
Mm.
Um, this is another one that they're going to be showing at the Xbox Developer Direct. If you
Nice.
remember the Developer Directs, I think they're like the coolest showcases. They're like where it's only like four games at a time, and they actually go to each studio, and the studio show a little bit of behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, where they
No,
like
no, yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
they drop didn't they drop like Hi-Fi Rush at one of them before? They just and it's out now.
I think they did. Yeah,
Yeah,
the one I remember most of was the one when they were talking about Indiana Jones. I think that was the start of last year.
yeah, and they did Hellblade 2 at that one as
Yeah, yeah.
well. Yeah, so like they've already announced that Claire Obscure is going to be one of the games.
Mm,
Um, Doom: The Dark Ages and South of
mm.
Midnight. So I'm like, that's a fucking solid little
That's a pretty good one.
showcase right there. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. And one more unannounced game that they
Oh.
have, and they won't say what that is. So that's like the secret, the surprise. What's that gonna be, kind of thing. But yeah, so Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is also in my top five most anticipated games of this year. I hope the combat slaps, and I'm looking
Mm,
forward to seeing more about it. Remember, all of these could change as the year goes on. Other
that's
things
true.
could be announced, and or things could change. It's always the
Yeah,
way.
because I
Um,
remember there was a Gotham Knights. I think was one of Chris's most
oh, that was
anticipated games.
at the start of 2021, was it? That game came out? Maybe it was 2022. That was my most anticipated game that year.
And then the more they showed, the
The more
less
they
you
showed,
got it.
and then by the end, I didn't even get it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's the thing. This stuff can change
these
if
things could
they.
change. So,
Yeah.
not one more that was on my most anticipated games of 2025 is Mafia: The Old Country, based on just the trailer from the Game Awards.
It's a very good trailer.
I was just blown away by. I need to see more of it, obviously.
Mm.
And again, like we said, these things could change, but I watched that a couple of times. I'm really I even like there was a moment where he's doing like a hand-to-hand fight with a guy with a knife,
Mm.
and the choreography of that fight, I'm like, that might be gameplay. It might be a cutscene because it's all in engine, but
Mm.
that might be gameplay. And if it is, that looks like some Naughty Dog level choreography shit going on there. But the whole thing of like the time period that it's based in and the drama of it, and they've just for me they've said all the right things. They have decided to make a story-driven narrative game and to tone back on open world. Now,
Nice.
nobody else is doing that. Everyone else is going, we need to go bigger, bigger. And they're stripping it back to make a more narrative
Mm.
driven experience. And to me, I'm like, you're you're singing what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need every game to be a big open world. There's plenty of them. We
Yes.
actually could do with a couple more streamlined experiences that you actually clear, that you actually finish. You know what I mean? So, very excited. It's my
Yeah, I
first time
actually
ever being excited for a Mafia game.
I actually showed Dad the trailer to that because I was like, maybe this will pique Dad's interest. Says it looks good, but he definitely won't play it. I'm like, no, I'm getting that for you. Whether you like it or not, I'm getting that for you.
So, what's another one on your list?
Crimson Desert
Ah, yes. Okay.
has to have to put it on my list. I mean, I was intrigued by this since the first time they showed it. Every time they showed more, I got more interested, and I got more interested, and I got more. I want a demo. I will say this
Hmm.
for all the games I am saying, I would like a demo
Well,
for
of
all of
course,
them.
you'd like a demo for everything.
Yes. Well, actually, for ones where the demo works.
Hmm.
Because there are some games where like Skyrim or something like you can't do a demo of Skyrim. Not really.
No, it'd be hard.
Yeah, it'd be hard. Like there are some games. I do understand that there are some games, but especially when you got an IP such as Crimson Desert. I know it's probably based on Black Desert or MMO, but this definitely will be playing different. But this looks ridiculous.
It does
It's
look ridiculous.
very much a case of like this is too good to be true on the amount that there is and how it plays and everything. It's
Mm.
just as some of the memes were saying, it's like, so what's the gameplay to this? Yes,
Yes,
like it's
correct.
just correct. So there is gameplay. This just fucking my God, it looks so good.
Do you
I
th-
I
do you
I
think it will be what it looks like?
it's probably gonna be a broken mess when it comes out.
But we will love it.
I will still get it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because it'll
Okay.
get fixed. Oh well, I assume it'll just get fixed as time goes on. Like Cyberpunk 2077, that came out as a broken mess. And then over time, people praise that as one of the best RPGs there is. No Man's Sky came out, people hated that. Nowadays, it's one of the best sci-fi exploration games. So hopefully, like if it
Hmm.
does come out and it's not to the
It's not up to
standard that
scratch.
they just work on it, they fix it, people will love it then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. My next most anticipated, that wasn't on my list, but my next most
Mhm.
anticipated, it's not a game. This I was on I was
You're
like,
altering the fucking list there,
no.
Chris.
I was arguing with myself whether to do this 2 years in a row because it didn't actually come out last year. It wasn't announced last year, and I thought it was going to be. And I was like, oh, maybe it should just be an honorable mention this year then. But it's like, no, because I am definitely more anticipating this than a lot of the games, which I'm also very excited for. But I am really excited to see what the Switch 2 is going to be, and what it's going to do, what it's going to
Mm.
be called, what it's going to look
Did
like,
they
when's
not
it going to
reveal
come
that?
out. No, not to the public.
Not to the
But
public.
this, but they're going to.
Mm.
This year it is coming out. They have announced that.
Okay.
So
You
we
excited,
are
Chris, are you?
getting closer and closer to finally getting a reveal and what it's going to be called. The Super Nintendo Switch, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I'm really, really, really excited to see this. I was last year. Got a Switch last year for the first time. Love it. It's fucking brilliant. Like, it's a great console.
It's a very good
The only
console.
thing that's holding it back, it really is its graphics, like, capabilities in terms of, so it still feels like it's playing old gen games rather than it's part of the current generation. Which, I mean, it's not. It is last gen. This next one coming is going to be current gen. Um,
Which is really
that's
weird because it's the end of current gen.
No, it's not. It's the middle. It's the middle of current gen,
Is
isn't
it?
it? I hope so. It's. I'm not ready for it to be the fucking end.
Well, don't they usually last about 5 or 6 years? And they came out in
I
2020,
always
didn't
thought it was
they?
like 7 years. Is it?
I think the PS3 was 7 years, but PS4 I think was only about 5.
Well, this time they should copy the PS3. They're not
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
to move on yet.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
and the gamers aren't
absolutely.
ready to move on yet.
No, because there
Um,
hasn't been any real exclusives yet. Xbox hasn't even had a chance yet.
yeah, and they need another couple of
Yeah.
years. But yeah. So Switch 2, very very excited for it. I do wonder when we will see it. I would imagine they normally do a Nintendo Direct in February as the first one of the year.
Okay.
So I would imagine, unless they want to get the Christmas sales thing, but then they'll do it later. But they might actually announce it at the February Nintendo
Hmm.
Direct for it to come out this summer.
And then is that what you want for Christmas? Or not Christmas, your birthday?
Well, I'll
Are
just buy
you
it.
winking to us there?
Hey,
Going,
everybody, anybody, if everybody wants to chip in and buy me a, a Switch 2, man, we have to see what the fucking price of this thing is. We don't even know what it's gonna be. But yeah, so very
well,
excited for
it's
that, and very excited to see then what they will announce as like the launch lineup of games first. You need to do Adam a favor and remaster the Wind Waker and put it
yeah,
on it. That's all he wants. You'll make Adam happy if you do that.
yeah. No, they're actually gonna do that. Like Link in Time or something, or that one with the four different links.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're gonna do all of them except Wind Waker.
yeah. They're sick of Wind Waker. So on to you, Eric.
On to me. My next one is it was actually one of your honorable mentions. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I
Hey.
don't really like the title, I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
But I found the first one. I didn't get it. I got a loan off of Adam, and then I think a couple of years later I bought like the director's cut of it. I just find the game so therapeutic and then stressful. So it's got this nice,
Right.
lovely balance of if I'm wanting just a nice, like therapeutic walk along the beautiful scenery of this landscape, it's cool. But then if I also want a bit of horror, I could do that. But then also, it's got the fun little building the roads, delivering the things, and it's got such a yeah. I just find it very like such a very therapeutic game. Even with like its music and everything like that. Every so often the songs would come in and start playing that match what you're doing and stuff. So that's why this is one of my most anticipated because I'm hoping I can. Hopefully, there's yes, as you stated, more innovation and there's more things to it.
Hmm.
But I hope that the meditative way of hiking isn't gone. I can
Okay.
do understand why that doesn't work with most people. Definitely, it's a niche sort of gameplay style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I can understand not liking it, but I liked it. I liked the whole walk. And there were some things, obviously. I think the very first time I ever played it, I found the whole being over encumbered and falling over the place like really annoying. But then the second time, I was like, what if I play the game and don't make myself over encumbered? And I found it was really great. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I should have played the first one during COVID. That's what I should have done,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
rather than wait until after that. I think it's a game that like is absolutely gorgeous to look at,
Mm,
and the performances are fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Um, but you have to have the time, like you really
yes.
have to have the time. And if you have like an hour to play in the evening, and you spend that hour walking, like like again, yeah, for many people it could be therapeutic. I think you need big blocks, big chunks of time to play
Mm,
Death Stranding. Uh,
yeah, for sure.
personally.
Yeah. A bit
Um,
like Baldur's
well,
Gate
even
3, I
because I
suppose, as
remember you
well. Like,
saying, "Oh yeah, absolutely, you need loads of time to play Baldur's Gate 3 to get into it. It's brilliant, but you need the time. You can't
yeah.
just fucking throw on. I've half an hour. Let's throw on Baldur's Gate 3.
No,
That's
you
more
can
of
do
a
that. You
let's.
can do that
You could
with
throw
Space
on
Marine
Space
2 or
Marine
Silent Hill
2 for
2.
half an hour
Yeah.
or something like that, or yeah, or just like, all right, I'm going to get to the next room in Silent Hill 2 and then nope and turn it off. Um, but or like play a few levels of Astrobot, for example. Like you can do
Yeah.
that really quickly and easily. But no, Baldur's Gate 3 and Death Stranding, no. You need the time for those games. Um, but it is like Kojima's mind is just fucking insane, isn't it? Like he's just I don't know how he comes up with the shit he comes up with. I don't like I remember like in the trailers for DS2 were incredible, and like the one with the little uh mannequin puppet thing or the little
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that's done in like stop motion nearly or something like that, but no one else is like it's wild. You're like what the
Yeah.
fuck? That's crazy. But I do wonder, and I wonder will he in any way listen to the criticisms that some people had? And will it be a little bit more action focused? Or will he double down and go, fuck you, there's less action, more walking? Yeah, I don't know now,
Taking a
but I'm
page out
just.
of Tolkien's book
Well,
there.
it's kind of
Just
like,
all walking.
because he does tend to, like, in some games, like, subvert your expectations. Like, take a Metal Gear Solid 2, for example. All the
Right.
marketing was Solid Snake, and then he went, aha, you're actually playing as Raiden, my spirit animal. You know? I,
Uh, See, the thing about combat is you can't really kill anyone in the world, can you?
I don't know. I don't know. I take your word for it. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, no, if you kill people and you don't burn their bodies, they'll become a nuke.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, you can't really kill people in it. But
Yeah,
I
so you can't go out guns
suppose
blazing like.
no, but you
No.
can have the tranquilizer. They do give you lethal rounds, and I don't really know why, but you do get tranquilizer guns as well that you can use to knock people out. So he could put in more combat for sure,
But
but
then that's
just make it a bit better, I
yeah.
suppose.
It's not the point of the game either, is it? The point of the
No,
game is not combat.
but the point of the first game was about connectivity,
Yes.
connecting everybody, which is why like the multiplayer aspect of it, there's no negativity. You can never get a thumbs down. You can only get thumbs up.
Hmm.
Because his inspiration for that was he kept seeing so much negativity on the internet that he wanted to bring a game. Now he can only be positive and reaffirming and be supportive and connect
Okay.
people together and be helpful and stuff,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think is really like again that's another aspect of the first one that makes it so
That's why people
therapeutic.
hated it.
Yeah, they hated it because it's too
I don't want to
positive.
be so positive. Toxic positivity.
Uh,
Don't force
um,
me to be nice.
so it depends on what his main focus was for the second one.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
happened?
Was it ever one that you were like, oh yeah, they definitely need to make a sequel to this?
No,
Um, yeah, it's interesting, but like I'm sure he doesn't do a sequel for nothing either. He's got other
no.
projects that he's working on too, with like OD and Fizzant, I think is the code name of the other one. So, the tactical espionage action game that he's doing for PlayStation?
Oh, right. Okay.
It's codenamed Fizzant at the moment. We don't actually know what it's going to be called.
Nice. It's a
Um,
weird name.
yeah, Physint. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but I don't know how
Isn't.
it's Physint. But yeah, let us know, guys, if you're also looking forward to Death Stranding 2 on the beach and what you want from it. I have two left. Have you got two left?
I should have two left. That was three. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my third one.
My second most anticipated game of 2025 is Ghost of Yotei.
That
I
is
mean,
fair.
as the follow up to Ghost of Tsushima, of course, I'm going to be excited for it. I remember when they first announced it, I had a little bit of reservations in terms of I personally felt Jin Sakai's story wasn't finished and
Yes.
that there was more to tell there. And I think I would be more hyped if this was Jin Sakai's story. However, that aside, it's not. And I'm sure they have good reasons why it's not. And I'm sure they're going to tell an incredibly strong story here because I have to remember when they were showing off Ghost of Tsushima, I was like excited for it, but not like crazy wild excited for it. And then when I started it, I was like, I don't know about this. And then it became one of the greatest games I have ever played. It made it into our
And
top 10 best games of all time.
who got it for you?
And Eric got it for me.
And I got
And it
it.
is, outside of Skyrim, the best open world game I've ever played.
It is a phenomenal open world game. I actually realized I only have two games left
Yeah,
on
that's
my
right.
list. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But yes, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Yotei actually is on my list.
Of course it is.
Of
Of
course it
course it
is.
is.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yes, I same thing as you. I was like, that's weird to not do Jin Sakai.
Hmm.
Absolutely thought that they were going to continue Jin Sakai. But you know what? Ghost of Yotei, yeah, like you said, this could like they told such a great story, great characters, great open world, really captured that like when I was first playing that, I was going, this is what I was missing all my life. This is what I was missing.
Yeah, the
An
Dream
open world,
Samurai game.
the Dream Samurai game, because every other Dream Samurai game was like Sekiro. It was ridiculously fucking hard and stupid, and I didn't feel like a samurai or a ninja. And so this was it. This captured how to be a samurai, how to be a shinobi, slap it together
Yeah.
with just this beautiful, beautiful world. The
Yeah,
colors
the art design and
department.
the coloring and the
Music.
cinematics as well,
Yeah.
and the like it ticks all the boxes. It has
Mm.
everything. It had a great story, great performances, great gameplay. Like the combat was absolutely sick.
Mm.
Um, it had it all, as well as, and it does the Ubisoft thing, right? The Ubisoft open world that everyone is sick of.
Right.
Ghost of Tsushima perfects it. It does the
Yes.
best version of what Ubisoft have always been trying to do. I swear to God, it is the best Assassin's Creed game that doesn't have Assassin's Creed written on the on the front of it, you know.
Yes.
And in a year where Ghost of Yotei is coming out in the same year as Assassin's Creed Shadows, I feel sorry for Assassin's Creed Shadows because Ghost of Yotei is coming out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and Sucker Punch. No, we still have to see like more gameplay and stuff. And like we said at the start, anything could change. You know, they could show
Yes.
more of this, and we could be like, "Oh, they fucked it. Oh, what the hell?" And oh, they added loot boxes and gotchas. I don't think they will though. When you
Mm.
when you play the first one, and like they even made like the Legends mode and just gave it for free as a
Yeah,
free
which actually I
update,
think they're
and
doing an anime of that as well.
sick.
Just yeah, fun fact.
So I have from the first one, I have a lot of faith in Sucker Punch, and I'm automatically incredibly excited to see what they do next,
Mm.
with this gameplay loop of exploring an island of Japan, the beautiful artwork, beautiful combat, and see what else they add to it and what new story they have decided to tell.
And it does look like you get new weapons in it as well, which could be very interesting to see how they
Yeah, yeah,
play.
yeah. And how do they like? It looks like yeah, guns are coming into the mix here.
Nice.
It might be more of a mix of say like a Western and a Japanese kind of movie. So yeah, looking forward to Ghost of Yotei. Wonder when it will drop. Um, what I hope is that is a. I actually hope that's a winter game. I don't know why. I just feel like it'd be cozier in the wintertime. Like even in the autumn, maybe
Right, yeah, yeah.
the different colors and stuff, and because I don't want too many games to come out in the summer, and I feel like there's a few coming out in the summer this year.
Yeah, well, I don't want a repeat of 2023 where like the minute you had to blast through a game and then the minute you were done that you were on
You're
the
on to the
next.
next one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't really want that
yeah.
again.
Yeah,
I would
have a
like to
bit
be
of
able to
time with the game.
yes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'd say Ghost of Yotai and some of the other games we mentioned are games you want to take your time with, you know.
Is that your most anticipated? Do you have a
No.
most anticipated?
Probably Crimson Desert.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm just surprised you didn't say it when you were saying one
I
of
was
the
going
most
through my I've
anticipated
gone
games.
down through my list.
Okay, what's your other one then? If Crimson
my
Desert is your most anticipated,
my
what's the
other
other
one
one?
is actually Doom the Dark Ages.
Ah, fuck yeah, well, why not? Like, yeah, yeah, because it's gonna have a sick soundtrack and sick gameplay.
Six Century, yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just gonna be a crazy fun game to play. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? We need more of them, to be honest.
yeah,
We don't need every game to be just a crazy fun visceral game to play, but we do need more of them. Like Space Marine 2 was just so great to be able to sit back, play, and enjoy the gameplay. And Doom the Dark Ages just looks like it's gonna be more of that. You know what I mean? Just it's gonna be like I really liked playing Doom 2016, really love playing Doom Eternal, and then I mean Doom the Dark Ages. But now you got Captain America's shield, but with a buzzsaw on it. Because why the fuck
yeah,
not? I just
yeah,
that's so cool. And you're using demon skulls. I think one of the weapons like a crossbow, but it
yes,
grinds demon skulls
yeah,
and
yeah,
shoots.
yeah,
I mean, fucking why not? Just let's
yeah.
fucking go.
How fucking crazy is it that that was not the one more thing of the Xbox showcase last summer? I still can't get over how strong that showcase was. And nearly every single game was like a banger, 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 bang.
Mm,
Like it was fucking crazy.
that was nuts. Yeah,
And some of those are the ones that are coming out this year. Including that's where we first saw Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
it
It's where we
was. Yeah,
saw South of Midnight. It's where we saw Doom the Dark Ages. We saw Fable, which I think is
yeah.
also supposed to be coming this year. Um, so many fucking games. Yeah, Doom Dark Ages looks sick. Um, will be coming to Game Pass, I believe. So I'll definitely be playing it. I'm actually
Mhm.
wondering. I didn't know. I thought just Xbox were just showing Clear Obscure at their showcase in the same way as a PlayStation showcase might show a Resident Evil game, but it comes to everything, right?
Right.
Is Clear Obscure an Xbox game?
Hold on a second. Let me get back to it.
Because I was surprised at was when they were doing the Xbox Developer Direct. which tends
Mm.
to only be Xbox Studios.
Yeah.
I was like, Doom Dark Ages, yeah, makes sense. They own Bethesda now, right?
Mm.
And it's South of Midnight, yeah, is an Xbox exclusive. And then they said they're going to be showing Claire Obscure. I was like, wait, what? I thought that was coming to everything.
Well, Clair Obscur is coming to everything. So is Doom: The Dark Ages.
I know Doom Dark Ages is coming to everything. It's just that it
Yeah.
is being developed by Xbox.
Yeah. Well, Clair Obscur is coming to everything as well. Yeah.
Have you looked up who's developing it? I'm curious.
No, I haven't looked up who's developing it. Give me 1 second.
I'm just wondering if it will come to Game Pass as a result.
I hope it doesn't.
Why?
So that you have to pay for something.
There's plenty of other games here that I have to pay for. Are you crazy?
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is being made, developed by Sandfall Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive.
Yeah, I don't know them. They must be under Xbox though, or I'm sure they wouldn't be getting a developer direct. You know,
I assume they're under Xbox, but my God, it looks like such a good game.
yeah, it looks sick. So then, okay, that leaves me with my number one most anticipated game of 2025. And unlike Eric, I am a vanilla. You can like predict from the get-go what it's going to be. Grand Theft Auto 6 is my most anticipated game this year,
Coming to Game Pass, is it?
and I will be shocked if it's not good. I don't think that will change, actually. I think that's one where it's like, that will probably be as good as it looks. Whatever
Oh,
they
like
show
that will
is
if
definitely going to be good.
I actually hope that is definitely coming out this year. I feel sorry for every other game coming out this year.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to sell like fucking crazy.
I'd be shocked if this got reviewed badly
Yes.
because it's Rockstar, like it's Rockstar, like they're an absolutely ridiculously fucking good studio.
Hmm.
I'd be shocked if it didn't even get nominated for any awards.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be boring. I mean, this and Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2, all three of those are already Game of the Year no nominees. There we go. You know, it's just what are the other three? That's going to be the exciting part.
Yeah, no, like I mean, that's gonna be. Services are probably going to crash when people are trying to download that game.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be nuts. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. I thought the trailer was amazing. I think it's crazy how much people are still like excited about and rewatching just that we haven't had anything since. And it's
No,
supposed to be coming this year. That makes me worried a little bit that like we haven't seen that we went a whole year without seeing anything else.
right? Yeah.
Like we went all of last year with nothing. That
Hmm.
makes me a little bit like, and it's coming this year? Are we sure? Are we sure it's coming out this year? It wouldn't be, they're not too far in. They haven't shown too many things to not delay it. You know what I mean? Like, if
Hmm.
their next announcement is actually is coming 2026, it's not like it's been like, oh man, use have marketed this every fucking week and we've already pre-ordered it and now you've delayed it. You
Right. Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like some other games and studios. Like, they haven't put a date on it yet anyway, a release date. They
No.
only had a year. So I wouldn't be shocked if it got delayed into next year. But if it comes out this year, absolutely my most anticipated game and probably most people's. Um, just because of the juggernaut that Grand Theft Auto is. But
Yes.
also it's like it has a mix of, you know, just throw that's one that you can just throw on if you only have half an hour. Maybe not to play main story stuff, but maybe
Oh, just
just
to mess
to
around.
fuck around, you know? Like
Hmm.
it's the sandbox game really is Grand Theft Auto. But
Yes.
then at the same time, Rockstar have gotten really good at telling their stories too.
Yeah.
So
Stories
there's
and characters, like, I mean, Red Dead 2 just kind of really knocked the ball out of the park with their performances of the characters.
yeah.
So that with then GTA 5 knocking out of the park with just being a fun sandbox game, slap those two together. Holy fuck.
I'm also yeah, I'm so excited for the location because like went on my honeymoon to Orlando in Florida.
Mm,
Obviously that's now it's like a special place for us.
right.
And I can't wait to see how they realize a location like Orlando in this game. Like obviously they'll use a different name and stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm really excited to see what they do with it and how they satire it and you know, um And just yeah, the climate and the summer vibes. I mean, that's gonna just feel like you're on holidays every time you play it, really, like
I hope so. Yeah,
because of our climate here, which is fucking shit.
it's freezing. It is
Yeah, yeah,
freezing here.
yeah, yeah. Like
It's ridiculous.
and even when it's sunny, we don't get that kind of heat or that kind of sunshine.
No,
We,
no, no. We can't. Isn't there a clip in the trailer where there's a car driving by and a girl is like twerking on top of the car? I think
oh
there's a
yeah, yeah,
boat.
you won't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that here.
yeah. You don't get that here. No, no, no.
Hell no. So yeah, really looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6. Hope we hear something about it soon. But I mean, they won't use a showcase, to like they won't rely on say Summer Game Fest to show off GTA 6.
You
They'll
know,
do their own thing. They'll just say
you know,
on this day at this time we're dropping a trailer and everyone will tune in.
yeah. But you know what would be crazy though?
What?
If they did go, yes, showcase Summer Game Fest, we're going to announce the trailer. All right, and everyone okay tunes in. Oh my god, they show the gameplay trailer. You're like, wow, that's so fucking cool. And then at the end of the go, available now.
That'd be
That would. They're not going to do that. They're not
they
going to do that.
can't
But
it would be
that'd be nuts.
amazing. It would be amazing. They can't do that because they're gonna have to allow for pre-orders, and they're gonna have to allow for it's out of stock, and they're gonna have to allow for like. And I'm not being ridiculous when I say that. I don't think. I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will be like trying to grab a PS5 when it first came out.
Yes, for sure.
It will definitely be when will you have that back in store? Mammies and daddies going in trying to get it for their kids, and like
Which they shouldn't.
yeah, I know, and kids going mad. I need the next Grand Theft Auto, and like it'll be on the news. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be on the news. It will. They always are, I think. GTA is just probably one of the most known games. Like even in my workplace, like all my colleagues, they haven't heard of fucking like God of War and shit. They have heard of Grand Theft Auto. So
It's that game.
it's going to be
like,
massive.
yeah.
But yeah, very much looking forward to it. So, do we want to recap our top fives?
Sure.
Okay, my five were, and I did have them in this order, actually, going from 5 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Mafia: The Old Country,
Mm-hmm.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33, The Switch 2, Ghost of Yote, and Grand Theft Auto 6 are my most anticipated games this year.
Mine were in no particular order. Crimson Desert's number one, but then after that, no particular order. There was Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Doom: The Dark Ages, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and then Ghost of Yote.
It's kind of crazy because we often end up with like the fucking same list bar maybe one, and this time we only had two of the same games on our. Now our honor, there was a crossover with honorable mentions and stuff as well, but yeah, that's kind of wild. That's kind of wild to me. That's kind of cool. Like there might be like later on down the line we're doing like I'm reviewing this game because I played it and maybe you didn't, and you're reviewing that game because you played it and I didn't,
and then we could swap games and like, oh my god.
Oh my god, it's like we're in secondary school again.
Or high school for people who don't know what secondary school is.
Or high school, yeah. So those are our most anticipated games for 2025. Some of them probably are the most anticipated games for 2025. And some of them maybe aren't on your list, but we want to hear your take. And we want to hear your most anticipated games for 2025. Again, if you're watching YouTube, jump down in the comments to share your thoughts. And if you listen to us on audio platforms, touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take. Before we wrap up this week's episode, though, games are not the only things we're looking forward to this year. True. And so, Erica, I wanted to take the last segment of the episode, to maybe talk about any of the other things that we are highly anticipating for 2025 that we know of so far, obviously, as the year goes on. Same with the games. Like, if later on they announce Resident Evil 9 and it's coming this year, I'm sorry, Mafia: The Old Country. Out you go. Resident Evil, in you come. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Like, that could happen. That could happen.
That would probably take that would actually probably take Death Stranding 2, actually, for me.
Yeah. Because, Resident fucking Evil. Are Capcom the best game studio?
No, Rockstar would be.
Okay. After Rockstar, are Capcom the best?
Capcom are getting themselves back on the map. Yeah. They're really bringing themselves. Because
when you think about it, not that I like everything they do, but everything they do, they excel at. Like, the fighting game community, like the Street Fighter games of recent memory have been incredible.
Right.
Right? Then the Monster Hunter series is like insanely popular, and actually there's one of them
Popular, yeah.
coming out this year, and that's going to be
Yeah.
massive. And then the Resident Evil series over here for us, like, is like they knock it out of the park every time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Capcom might be one of the they're definitely one of the best game
One of the
studios
best ones, yes.
out there. But anyway, sorry. So, yeah, our other most anticipated things this year in terms of either movies, TV shows, or music. Eric, anything in particular that you are very excited for in any of those categories?
Well, I mean, I do believe we have Stranger Things season 5, the last
Oh,
season of Stranger Things coming out this summer, is it?
we don't know
Or
when
have
it's
they
coming out
announced?
yet.
We
No,
don't
they
know.
haven't
I
said when it's
don't
coming out,
know.
but it is coming this year. So, fucking hell, man. There's a lot of shows I'm looking forward to this year, right?
Yeah.
Severance season 2 coming this month. I'm really looking forward to that. I've rewatched season 1 actually in the lead up. It's so good. It's so good. And season 2 at the moment has obviously this is only based on the reviewers who have seen it so far, right?
Yeah.
But at the moment, the time of recording has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy fuck.
Which is every single critic who liked it loved it.
Nice.
And found no flaws with it or something. So very excited for Severance season 2. Very excited for Squid Game 3 also coming this year.
Mm-hmm.
But most excited for, like, they're like, if I was to do like most anticipated shows of the year, it's like, oh, they're up there.
Yeah.
But obviously, the most anticipated show for me is Stranger Things 5, the final season of Stranger Things. Holy shit. I don't know what Netflix is going to do after this. They're going to end Stranger Things and Squid Game in the same year?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to come up with something. They're probably going to milk it and ruin it, but yeah. I hope. The rumor I've heard is that Squid Game is coming out in the summer.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking of then, because I think you said that to me before.
So I would
Yes.
hope that Stranger Things comes out later.
I don't know why I'm feeling like it should be an autumn
Yeah.
or fall for people who don't know what autumn is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's kind of going back to when I think season 1 came out that around that time, right? It was
Yeah,
definitely
that'd be nice.
set. It was definitely set in like
Halloween,
October. Yeah, that would be a very fitting. I'm kind of wondering, like, I can't wait to see what they do, but like, I'm
Well, no,
wondering, like,
wasn't that set around Christmas, actually?
no, it ended at Christmas.
Ah,
The final scene was like a month later, and it was Christmas time. And oh yeah, sorry, it was set in November.
right, all
It
right.
was set in
build up, yeah.
November, and then like it all obviously wraps up, and then a month later at Christmas time, they're all gathering around, and like it was really cozy, and then there's that last shot, and it's like, oh, that's so good. But I'm really curious how the fuck, like, without going into spoilers here, and then if people want to check it out, we did do spoiler discussion on Stranger Things season 4. How is this going to pick up, like, maybe a year later or something like that?
Yeah,
with
there is
the
a
way
time
it
jump, isn't
ended?
there?
I
Yeah.
think there's a time jump, and I'm even like some of the behind the scenes stuff, like just photos and stuff shared on Instagram, and obviously that's just behind the scenes stuff, so it's hard to know. But some of it looks like normal life. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how? I have no idea what they're gonna do. Can't wait to see a trailer. They do bitchin' trailers. Every
do bitchin'
trailer they've
trailers.
done has been like the use of music and stuff has been incredible.
The especially season 4's trailer. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was fucking class.
Yeah.
Such a good trailer. Good use
Yeah.
of that song.
The whole I'm sad that it's going to end, but also delighted it's going to end. In
Right,
that,
because you don't want it to get milked, like, you know, you don't want it going on for 15 seasons or some shit.
no,
or-
I don't want Stranger Things to become the show that you're like, oh my god, like they should have ended that years ago. You know what I mean? You don't want that. I love when people know it's time to give it. Really good things should not fizzle out.
Yes.
Really good things should have a finite ending where you don't want it to end, but you're satisfied with the ending. And then you just rewatch it over and over. And it's just a lovely, lovely thing called The Lord of the Rings. And
Yes,
but you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
no, they don't need to make a sequel to Return of the King that's not based on anything except we need more money. You know, you don't do that. You just it's
No.
a sacred text. You leave it alone. And you just rewatch it every Christmas. That's what you do.
It's great.
Um
It's beautiful.
and that's why I think Stranger Things will be, and I can't wait to see like now that when it's all finished, there'll be like box sets, DVD box sets and stuff of a Blu-ray and things like that.
You gonna buy it? You gonna buy all
Yeah,
of them?
yeah. Even
Watch
though it's
special
on
features?
Netflix. Yes, man, I'd love that. Special features would be fucking amazing. Behind the scenes, the making of the prosthetics, the creatures. That'd be so fucking cool. Um, so outside of games, that's actually my most anticipated thing this year.
That's fair. I mean, we
And
waited
those
a
other
long
shows
time
as
for that.
well, I'm very excited for. But that is definitely like because I remember like the year Stranger Things 4 came out. That was the best thing that year in entertainment. That was just the best thing.
What
No, I
was
think that was the same year as the Batman. Like, that was just insane.
that? Yes, that. Yeah, because I don't think there was many things that came out that year apart from. Well, I mean, for us,
For us, it was a quieter year on the gaming front, I think.
yeah. What year was that? Was that 2022? Was
Two,
it?
2022, I think, yeah.
Was COVID still around for that, or was that COVID just
It had
ended?
kind of eased off at that point. It had eased
Okay.
off, but like there was little, you know,
No, I
sprinkles
remember
of it
actually. I
still. But
remembered like it was episode 4, I think, in season 4. Was that Dear Billy or something? Or was that episode 3?
yeah, yeah.
That put so many recent movies to fucking shame, to be honest.
That was just incredible. That's one of
Yeah,
the most incredible episodes of anything I've ever seen.
that was beautiful. It's
That
gonna be
just,
more. If
yeah.
I ever have children, that episode's still gonna be more beautiful and amazing. Like,
So outside of shows, then anything else you're looking forward to this year?
there's actually I remember seeing a list of all the movies apparently coming out this year.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember all of them. It's not that I am excited for this, but I'm just like, huh? It's Tron Ares. Apparently, they're making a new Tron movie, and it's coming out this year.
Yes.
And I'm like,
I'm
okay,
I am excited
what?
for that from a visual standpoint, but
Yeah.
also, and this just I don't know, immediately makes me excited for things like it did with the new Naughty Dog game. Nine Inch Nails are doing the soundtrack this time instead of Daft Punk.
All right, it's gonna be the best
It's
movie
gonna
ever.
be fucking great, you know what I mean? It's gonna be sick.
All right, let's go see it.
They just
In
make
fairness,
great music.
the visuals to Tron Legacy was very good. I think that was the first time I ever saw I think they refer to it as deep fake, but the CGI like de-aging technology. I think it was the first time I ever saw
Oh
that
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah,
done,
yeah, yeah.
and it wasn't too bad for the time.
It
Like,
was actually pretty good in that.
yes,
Um, yeah, it has been abused since, but
it has been abused since, but it
but yeah,
worked in the context of that movie. Because I
yes,
think
yeah.
the first time you see it, it was a flashback, so you had to have Jeff Bridges be young.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, like, fucking that should be. Hopefully, that's good. I mean, Trent Reznor's in music.
Yeah,
Um,
there's no movie in particular that's like top of my list most anticipated.
hmm.
Because we've yet to see a lot of the trailers for what's to come this year, so it's hard to say
Yes,
yet.
it was a
Um,
huge list, and I was like, "What are any of these?" I've what?
but like so, for example, like there's a new Predator movie coming this year called Predator Badlands.
Yes, actually, I
So
did see it on the list.
I
Yeah.
want to see a trailer for that to see like is it going to be in tone with like Prey because Prey was fucking incredible, and if it
Hmm.
is, can't wait to see it. And I hope it gets a cinema release this time.
Yeah.
And that'd be
Yeah.
great. There's a new Jurassic World movie, but it's being directed by the guy who directed Rogue One, and it's being written by the guy who wrote the original Jurassic Park. And the director in the
Okay.
interviews, it's hard to know what tone it'll take, but the guy in the interview says he wants to bring it back to a little bit of its horror roots.
Okay.
So, like, you know, it's like, oh, you're saying the right things, you've got some of the right people, but we need to see a trailer. What's the tone? Because the tone of the Jurassic World movies was
Well,
not the tone of the Jurassic
okay.
Park movies. So
I
we
will
need to
say
know.
though, I
Yeah.
will say that there was a time, there was a movie
Yeah.
that came out a few years ago
Mhm.
where we're like, director, you're saying all the right things.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
trailer is doing all the right things.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
watched the movie and
Yeah.
we're like, Kano was the only good fucking thing about this, and
The
maybe the
difference
visuals.
there was that guy hadn't made a movie before.
True. Okay.
This guy has made movies and they were good.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So
fair. That's fair.
that is the difference. Now,
Okay.
I'm not shitting on the guy who made Mortal Kombat. I think for his first movie ever,
He did a good job
he
for his
did a
first movie.
great job.
He did a great
And
job.
speaking of, Mortal Kombat 2 is supposed to be coming out this year.
Hopefully, this one's better.
Hopefully,
I hope. In terms of
just the way he said that, I was like, oh, hopefully it's better.
in terms of just like capturing the Mortal Kombat story,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was really the biggest issue was with the first Mortal Kombat movie was just like you're kind of doing this Resident Evil thing where it's like you
You're
have all the
making
like
shit up that you don't
names.
need to do. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like
yeah.
yeah. So hopefully this stays in line. I think Carol Urban's supposed to play Johnny Cage, so at least we're getting Johnny Cage in it now.
We are also getting the last Mission Impossible movie this year.
Is that it this year?
Yeah, and they are fun to watch, and it's the last one. I'm sure he's going to go all out with some crazy stunt for his last ever Mission Impossible
Yeah,
movie.
he's gonna like I don't know, fucking dive from space or
Yeah, he's
something.
going to do something crazy. So I definitely go to the cinema to see it. They don't always have the best plots, but damn, they are fun to watch. Like,
Mm,
and there is moments where you go, "What? I can't believe they're actually doing that!" Like, all the other movies are doing their CGI, and sometimes it's done very well, and sometimes it's not. And here these guys are pulling off like seriously dangerous stunts. I doing it for real, and it's crazy. Like, so I am looking forward to that, but I can't say most anticipated.
mm.
I think by the end of the year, the best movie of the year will be one that we just don't know about yet. Maybe I'm not sure.
Right, yeah,
Like
yeah.
last year, there's always the unknowns. Like I was blown away
Mm.
by The Substance last year and its whole
Yes.
idea and concept. But sure, I would never have known what that was, or I couldn't have been anticipating that beforehand because
Mm.
I didn't know what it was like.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I do think there's gonna be all these like cool movies to watch, but something's gonna come out that's gonna like surprise us. I think.
That'll be nice. That'll be good.
And then in the world of music, I have a lot of things to look forward to. I have a lot of
You
concerts
do?
I'm going to. Going to see Linkin Park again on my birthday. I'm going to see Limp Bizkit. Me and Eric are going to the PlayStation concert, which is
We
going to
are
be
indeed.
fucking awesome. I'm going to see Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine this month, playing the 20th anniversary of their albums Ascendancy and The Poison. Anyone who
I
grew up
hope
listening to metal is gonna like that's just insane.
I hope you survive.
I will, of course I will. And then there's a lot of a load of bands are dropping albums this year, so I'm really looking forward. Like Killswitch Engage, Parkway Drive. I think there's a Slipknot album on the way. I think Korn are working on an album. I think Papa Roach are working on an album. So there's a lot of stuff that will come out in the year. We don't fully know about all of them yet, but we know that they're in the works. And
Okay,
album releases are different to games. If they're working on it now, they could easily, or if they're like deep into working on it now, they could easily have it out by the end of the year.
and for in case for anyone listening, you're probably never really going to hear us mention Taylor Swift releasing an album or
Oh,
something.
sorry. No, no, no. Yeah, well, like yeah, more into like rock and metal
Yeah, yeah.
music and that kind of stuff. But sometimes other stuff. Sometimes alternative stuff. Well, you're more into soundtracks and classical stuff.
Yes.
That's more your thing. Like you're
Well,
more
yeah. Let's be
Hans
careful.
Zimmer.
Let's be careful with the classical. Like I can't name any of Bach's music or anything like that. Or
Yeah,
fucking
but I don't mean like old school classical. I just mean like modern classical music. As in sound.
it's a weird sentence to say though. You're into modern classical, huh?
You would be more interested, I think, in seeing a movie composer or a video game composer's concert than necessarily going to see Slipknot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in that
I,
sense,
I
yeah,
I have no problem listening to Slipknot. I'll happily put on Slipknot, but yeah, I think I'd rather see the orchestra.
yeah, yeah. So and what kind of genre is orchestra? Like it's classical.
Ah man, it's just class.
This is classical. Yeah, those are anyway the things I'm most anticipating this year. Is there anything else that you wanted to shout out? I mean,
Well,
apart
actually,
from
the PlayStation concert, yeah.
yeah, and apart from the Metal Gear Solid board game that we were looking forward to last year,
That's
that none
we're
of us
gonna
did
be
that.
waiting a while for that.
Yeah, it's actually sucking the anticipation out of it, to be
Oh yeah,
honest.
my anticipation's gone.
When it comes, I'll enjoy it. That's the way I am now. I'm
Yes,
no
yeah,
longer counting down or looking forward to it. I'm just like
yeah.
when it arrives, I'll be like, woohoo! And that's it.
I have my other board games to look to and play anyway. So for the time
Great
being,
stuff. Well, guys, we want to know what you are most looking forward to. So, as we said, let us know your most anticipated games of 2025. But then also, if there are any shows you're particularly looking forward to coming out this year, any movies that you're looking forward to coming out this year, or any music releases of any genre. It doesn't have, you don't have to like cater to our tastes, like of any genre, whatever it is that you are most looking forward to. Do let us know. If you're watching YouTube, jump down in the comments to share your take. If you enjoyed this episode, please do give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for all future content. And to those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can also touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take. Again, to give your take on the most anticipated things for 2025. It's going to be an exciting year, and we hope you guys will check out the podcast as we discuss them. Thank you very much for checking out this week's episode. We'll be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.